Hey guys, this is my first video, or even anything like trying to make a video, so quality might not be the best yet, but I'm not even too sure exactly what I want to talk about. This video is heavily inspired by a guy called Profound Pondering. I'll put his YouTube in the description. But I don't know, I kind of just want to talk about some ideas that I have and thoughts that I have about them. So something that I've been thinking about a lot recently is the phrase, be where your feet are. And you know, it's a simple phrase, really, because I feel like a lot of people, they hear it and they know what it means, but I feel like a lot of people really don't live in the moment as much as they should. And I mean, you know, it's obviously easy for me to say that as an outsider to everybody, but like I myself, like I know there are a lot of times that I'd be having a great moment, and in my head all I can think about is like what's going to happen way down the line, what's going to happen, I don't know, for dinner, playing Rocket League with my friends later, or like, you know, just any little worry that I have for the future. And you know, this could be like some really special event, like I don't know, like winning some big game in sport. But it could also be like what's a good example? It could also be what's preventing you from making a big step, like getting in a relationship. Because for me, I know one of the biggest things stopping me from trying to get into a relationship, because I know I could if I really wanted to, but my worry is that 10 steps down the line, after like 2 months of what would be a good relationship, I'm just gonna not enjoy it anymore. But worrying like that really is no use. Like, it's obviously good to consider, you know, some problems that you might have, but if that's all you ever think about, then like you can't only ever think about the problems, because it'll just, you know, stop you from doing so many things that you could want to do with your life. I mean, like, you see it so often with like actors, for example. I couldn't give an example because I don't really know Hollywood like that, but I've seen so many interviews about like people that were like not really actors at all, but then they saw some interview and they're like, you know what? Fuck it, why not try it? And it went and completely changed their life. And I feel like that's something that I myself, as well as some of my friends, like are trying to get better at, because being able to live in the moment and just like take those risks, I feel like will genuinely change people's lives, like for the better. And I saw a video on TikTok the other day that was like, becoming chalant will change your life. And you know, I as much as I think the guy in the video is really joking there, I do think he's right, because like you'll just enjoy your life so much more. You'll just have so much, your life will be so much more full. Because I mean, living kind of shut down and reclused isn't going to get you any deep, meaningful connections. And you know, this could just be yap. This is like my first video. I'm still kind of working out my thoughts. But I don't know. I feel like the biggest thing is being where your feet are. Just living in the moment, all that stuff. Because there's another, oh, I know a good quote. Andy Bernard, The Office. You never know you're in the good times until you left them. And, it's always easy to look back and be like, yeah, that was a pretty good time. But it's not often that people are able to really sit down and be like, yeah, this is really nice. Like, what I have right now is really good, and I want to keep this. And, obviously, easier said than done, again. But, how do I put this? I feel like appreciating the little things in life will make it so much easier to notice those big things. Like, a while ago, I tore my ACL, okay? And, obviously it's like one of the worst things that can happen to an athlete. But at the same time, I don't want to say that it was the worst thing that ever happened to me or anything like that, because, like, even if something is terrible, it's not all bad ever. Because, yes, I tore my ACL, but I got a better room out of it, like in my dorm. I got a better room selection. I got to, I got to go to a bunch of my classes late. I got to have, like, all my friends bring me food for a while. And as corny as this one might sound, walking slowly on the paths, being allowed that extra time to go places, not just allowed, but forced, I guess, but also allowed, because I did enjoy those slow walks. Being allowed that extra time on the paths just allowed me to enjoy the nature and scenery of the campus so much better. And, obviously it helps that, where I go has a nice campus. I have good friends, all that. But, none of that would happen if I was so obsessed with, getting over the, or if I was so worried with, like, what was happening 2 months, 3 months later. Like, you have to just enjoy the little things, like the changing trees, it being, a warm day, being able to wear shorts, your teacher letting you out 5 minutes early, just little things like that. Because, I don't know, I guess there's just so much negativity today, and I feel like people just like to hate for no reason. Which, that's another thing, but I guess that can be another video. I hope I didn't... Oh, almost didn't get that one. I hope I didn't yap too much here. I was kind of restating the same general ideas, but, I hope I followed a cohesive, story, I guess, not story, like in a cohesive line of thought. Yeah, I'll catch you guys next time. Hopefully there will be a next time. Hopefully I post again. Yeah, I hope you guys have a good day or night or whatever it is where you are or when you're watching. And thank you for watching. See ya. One note that I felt like adding was I read The Plague by Albert Camus recently, and I feel like that really helped solidify in my head a lot of what I'm talking about right now, because a big theme in that book to me was the people, appreciating what they did have in the bad times, because, you know, before the plague came, nobody really appreciated the street lights, the, you know, being able to go get coffee, all that. But afterwards, and even during, they just took so much less for granted, and they were able to fully appreciate all the, you know, all the bad, or the good in all the bad. And so I feel like if people are able to appreciate the good more without the bad, it'll just lead to such fuller lives. That's all. Thank you.